Welcome to our channel. Before we dive into today's video, we kindly ask you to show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our content. Unveiling the Finest Romantic Comedy Treasures Part 2. Number 7. Enchanted, 2007. Enchanted is a romantic fantasy comedy film released in 2007. The story revolves around Giselle, a young and beautiful princess-to-be who is banished from her animated fairy tale world, Andalasia, by an evil queen named Nerissa. Giselle is transported to the bustling streets of modern-day New York City, where she must navigate the complexities of the real world. The film begins in the animated kingdom of Andalasia, where Giselle dreams of finding her true love and living happily ever after. She meets Prince Edward, and they instantly fall in love. However, Nerissa, who desires to remain as queen, is threatened by Giselle's presence and plots to get rid of her. Nerissa disguises herself as an old hag and pushes Giselle into a magical well, which transports her to New York City. In New York, Giselle emerges from the well in the middle of Times Square, transformed into a live-action version of herself. She is bewildered by the chaotic and unfamiliar environment but quickly attracts the attention of a divorce lawyer named Robert Phillip. Robert is initially skeptical of Giselle's claims of being a fairy tale princess, but he reluctantly takes her in for the night to ensure her safety. As Giselle spends more time in the real world, she begins to adapt to its customs and experiences various comedic situations. She befriends Robert's young daughter, Morgan, and helps her reconnect with her estranged father. Giselle also starts to develop feelings for Robert, much to the chagrin of his girlfriend, Nancy. Meanwhile, Prince Edward, accompanied by a loyal chipmunk named Pip, ventures into New York to rescue Giselle and bring her back to Andalasia. Edward's naivete and chivalrous nature cause him to clash with the modern city dwellers. He eventually meets Nancy, who mistakes him for a crazy man in need of help. Edward, in turn, mistakes Nancy for a princess and becomes infatuated with her. Nerissa, in her animated form, enters the real world to ensure that Giselle does not return to Andalasia. She disguises herself as an attractive woman named Queen Nerissa and manipulates events to keep Giselle away from Robert. Nerissa eventually reveals her true identity to Giselle, kidnaps Robert, and plans to force him to marry her so she can become queen of both Andalasia and the real world. Giselle, along with Edward, Pip, and Morgan, races to save Robert from Nerissa's clutches. In a climactic battle atop the Woolworth building, Giselle uses her innate charm and innocence to defeat Nerissa. Robert realizes his love for Giselle, and they share a true love's kiss, breaking the evil spell cast by Nerissa. With the threat eliminated, Giselle and Edward return to Andalasia, where Edward marries Nancy, who has embraced her own inner princess. Giselle decides to stay in the real world with Robert and Morgan. They open a successful fashion business together, combining their practical and magical talents, and live happily ever after. Enchanted is a delightful blend of animated and live-action storytelling, exploring themes of love, self-discovery, and the contrast between fantasy and reality. Number 8. Sabrina, 1954. Sabrina is a romantic comedy film released in 1954. The story follows Sabrina Fairchild, who falls in love with David Larrabee, the playboy son of the wealthy family her father is working for as a chauffeur. The film explores themes of love, class differences, and personal growth. Sabrina Fairchild, played by Audrey Hepburn, is the daughter of the Larrabee family's chauffeur, Thomas. She has been unrequitedly in love with David Larrabee, played by William Holden, for as long as she can remember. However, David is engaged to Elizabeth Tyson, a wealthy woman from a prominent family. Sabrina, a shy and awkward young woman, has spent most of her life living in the shadow of the Larrabee family. In an attempt to forget her feelings for David and broaden her horizons, she leaves for Paris to attend cooking school. There, she transforms herself into a sophisticated and confident woman. After 2 years in Paris, Sabrina returns to Long Island. Her transformation catches the attention of David, who is instantly captivated by her. However, his older brother, Linus Larrabee, played by Humphrey Bogart, is concerned about the potential scandal and the impact it might have on the family business. To keep David and Sabrina apart, Linus devises a plan. He decides to charm Sabrina himself, hoping that a short-lived affair will ultimately discourage her. However, as Linus spends more time with Sabrina, he begins to fall in love with her. Sabrina, unaware of Linus' true intentions, reciprocates his feelings. As their relationship deepens, Linus is faced with a difficult decision. He must choose between his love for Sabrina and his loyalty to the family. He ultimately decides to sacrifice his own happiness for the sake of the family's business merger with the Tyson family. On the day of David and Elizabeth's wedding, Sabrina discovers Linus' plan and realizes that he never truly loved her. Heartbroken, she attempts to take her own life but is saved by her father, who reminds her of her self-worth and encourages her to find happiness elsewhere. In the end, Sabrina decides to leave Long Island once again, this time for good. She boards a ship bound for Paris, ready to start a new chapter in her life. However, Linus realizes his mistake and rushes to the ship to find Sabrina. He confesses his love for her and begs her to stay, promising to leave the family business behind for her. Moved by Linus' sincerity, Sabrina decides to give their love a chance. The film ends with Sabrina and Linus embracing on the ship, ready to embark on a new journey together. Sabrina is a classic romantic comedy that explores themes of love, self-discovery, and the complexities of social class. It showcases the transformative power of love and the importance of following one's heart, even in the face of societal expectations. Number 9. Broadcast News, 1987. Broadcast News is a romantic comedy drama film released in 1987. The story revolves around the lives of three characters working in the world of broadcast news: Jane Craig, a talented news producer, Tom Grunick, an ambitious but inexperienced news anchor, and Aaron Altman, a skilled reporter and Jane's best friend. The film explores their personal and professional relationships and the challenges they face in the fast-paced world of television journalism. The film begins with a young woman named Jane, played by Holly Hunter, working as a news producer at a local TV station. She is highly dedicated and passionate about her job, but her personal life suffers as a result. Meanwhile, Aaron, played by Albert Brooks, continually pines for Jane, hoping to win her affections despite being stuck in the friend zone. Jane's career takes a significant turn when she is recruited by a major news network in Washington, D.C. She excels at her new position, working alongside her demanding boss, Paul Moore, and striving for journalistic integrity. However, her personal life remains stagnant, and she struggles with the pressures of her job. Into Jane's life enters Tom, played by William Hurt, a handsome but inexperienced news anchor who is hired by the network. Tom's good looks and charisma quickly make him a rising star in the world of broadcast news, despite his lack of journalistic skills. Jane is initially skeptical of Tom's abilities but eventually becomes romantically involved with him. While Jane and Tom's relationship blossoms, Aaron continues to be a supportive friend to Jane, even though it pains him to see her with someone else. He remains dedicated to his career as a reporter, often covering stories that require more depth and substance than what is typically seen in television news. Tensions arise when Jane discovers that Tom's success is primarily due to his looks and charisma, rather than his journalistic skills. She becomes disillusioned with the industry and struggles with her feelings for Tom, who is genuinely in love with her. Meanwhile, Aaron seizes an opportunity to anchor a new show, hoping to prove his worth and win Jane's heart. As the relationships between Jane, Tom, and Aaron become more complicated, a major news event unfolds: the launch of the space shuttle. The network is poised to cover the event live, and Jane is faced with a difficult decision. Tom, who lacks the necessary knowledge to report on the technical aspects of the launch, is chosen as the anchor, while Aaron is left to cover a less prestigious story. During the live broadcast, Tom suffers a meltdown on air due to his lack of understanding of the subject matter. Jane rushes to his aid and directs him through the broadcast, demonstrating her competence and expertise. The incident leads to a pivotal moment where Jane realizes the importance of her job and the impact she can have on the audience. In the aftermath of the broadcast, Jane ends her relationship with Tom, recognizing that their connection was based more on physical attraction than true compatibility. She also confronts her own personal and professional conflicts, ultimately choosing to prioritize her career and her friendship with Aaron. The film concludes with Jane and Aaron sharing a heartfelt conversation, where Aaron finally expresses his love for her. Although Jane appreciates his feelings, she values their friendship too much to risk losing it. The two part ways, with Jane continuing her successful career in broadcast news and Aaron pursuing new opportunities. Broadcast news is a thought-provoking and witty exploration of the world of television journalism and the complexities of personal relationships within a high-pressure industry. It delves into themes of integrity, ambition, and the fine line between entertainment and news, while also examining the challenges faced by strong-willed individuals striving for success in their careers and personal lives. Number 10. Say Anything, 1989. Say Anything is a romantic comedy drama film released in 1989. The story follows Lloyd Dobler, an optimistic and unconventional high school graduate, and Diane Court, a brilliant and focused valedictorian. The film explores their unlikely love story and the challenges they face as they navigate the complexities of life after high school. Lloyd Dobler, played by John Cusack, is an aspiring kickboxer who is content with his simple life. He falls in love with Diane Court, played by Ione Skye, after they strike up a conversation at their high school graduation party. Despite their differences, they are drawn to each other's authenticity and share a genuine connection. Diane, a studious and ambitious young woman, plans to attend a prestigious college in England on a scholarship. She is also dealing with a strained relationship with her overprotective and controlling father, James Court, played by John Mahoney. James is a successful businessman who is involved in illegal activities, unbeknownst to Diane. As Lloyd and Diane grow closer, they face opposition from both Diane's father and her friends, who believe that Lloyd is not the right match for her. Despite the doubts and pressures from those around them, Lloyd and Diane continue to pursue their relationship, supporting each other's dreams and aspirations. Lloyd encourages Diane to embrace her true passions and live life to the fullest, while Diane admires Lloyd's sincerity and determination. Their love blossoms, and they share memorable moments together, including a romantic night spent together at a party and a poignant experience of spending time with Lloyd's sister, who has special needs. However, their relationship is put to the test when Diane's father becomes entangled in his illegal dealings. James is eventually exposed, leading to his arrest and the downfall of his business empire. This revelation deeply affects Diane, who is devastated by her father's actions and the loss of her once stable life. In the midst of the chaos, Lloyd remains a constant source of support for Diane. He stands by her side, offering comfort and reassurance during this difficult time. Despite the challenges they face, their love endures, and they find solace in each other's presence. As Diane prepares to leave for England, Lloyd confronts his own fears and insecurities about their uncertain future. In a memorable scene, he holds a boombox over his head outside Diane's window, playing Peter Gabriel's In Your Eyes, in a grand gesture of love and determination. Diane, moved by his sincerity, realizes that she cannot let go of the love they share. The film concludes with Diane choosing to stay with Lloyd, defying expectations and societal pressures. They embrace each other, ready to face the future together. Say Anything is a heartfelt and honest portrayal of young love and the challenges of growing up. It explores themes of passion, loyalty, and the courage to follow one's heart. The film reminds viewers of the power of love and the importance of staying true to oneself, even in the face of adversity.